I come I come from the realm of the Elohim. So just also because what we're going to do today and discuss, and I'll explain in a little bit, I'm also one of the chief commanders of the Pleiadian Command Force. So a lot of the energy of like Pleiadian and of course, the Divine Flame and all that stuff will be integrated for our group meditation healing. So I love you guys all. I just want to thank every single one of you for being here, for your whole mind, body, and soul. Like, we are really here, guys. And I think what I really wanted to start off as we go is I feel like the energy I kind of wanted to talk about our current ascension as of right now and where we are and how can we continue to work together to accelerate the ascension process, to bring in that solar flash, essentially. I just wanted to put that in there, and maybe we can just discuss that a little bit, and then I will then lead us into like a healing that I will briefly go over before we get started. But for first, I kind of want to I wanted to see your intake on where you think we are right now as a collective. The things that we've been observing, and then we'll go from there.
All right. So before I answer that, I just wanted to acknowledge the different orders of councils of light that many of the starseeds here on the Earth are representing. So we have the Order of Amethyst, which is the order that you represent. We have also starseeds that represent the Emerald Order, and that is known as the Order of Gold. The Amethyst is the Order of Silver. And then we also have starseeds that represent the Order of Ruby, which is the signet Alcyon Council of the Central Sun of the Pleiades. So, I just wanted to say that overall, the three orders fall under the Cosmic Brotherhood and Sisterhood of Melchizedek, of the Order of Melchizedek. So that's what we all are. We are all Melchizedeks. Each and every single starseed out there, whether they know it or not, is a high priest and high priestess in the Order of Melchizedek. And, we are still the high priest and high priestess in Atlantis. Some of us are the gods and goddesses. Some of us are the demigods. And we have all returned. So thank you for doing so. But to answer your question, as far as like the ascension is concerned, I think that as we continue awakening the masses, it's going to get to the point where we will be reaching some sort of critical mass. And I don't know if it's 10 or 15%, but it's what they call the 100 monkey syndrome or the Maharishi effect, where once a certain number of humanity becomes awakened and aware about what's really going on, once they break away from the matrix, then it automatically causes a tilt for the other. For the collective of the entire planet to shift collectively into the new dimension, into the new Earth. So, from what I understand, from what I've been feeling, and as confirmed by many others, we're actually at the finish line. We're almost there, where we are going to be reaching critical mass. Now, the ascension is a two-way process. It's not just about us waiting for the grand solar flash to take place. It is also us doing the healing, the internal healing, the work, the shadow work, the taming the ego, the integrating higher realities with lower realities, collapsing the polarity duality and finding that point of neutrality where we no longer see duality. We are just singular. And when we maintain that focus on that singular state of unconditional love, compassion, and all-inclusiveness, where we see us as cells within the bigger body known as the universe, then, we're going to be ready to ignite the solar flash. So I think that like I said, it's a two-way process. The more people do the work, the faster that we're going to be ready for the great solar flash. So I think it's almost there.
That was very beautiful, brother, just the way you explained it. Absolutely. And I think that becomes part of our awareness, as part of our awakening, as to understand and remember who we truly are as a family of light here on ground. And I feel like right now, like you mentioned, it's basically both. It's an internal work and exterior work. And the way that I was seeing it, and based on the things that I recently posted on my page, is kind of like helping others remember of the base 12. The base 12 from Cyrus B is just, the 12 different placements that we have. And it just really brings the perspective to realize that we have the full universe in our vessels. And Absolutely. That's why it's required for us to do that inner work, because as we repair our own chakras, which are stargates. We are
Absolutely.
basically, the way you guys want to see it is like you're resurrecting yourself from every layer of existence. And with each layer of your DNA that is being activated, it comes with a little bit of shadow that took your power away, you know? So then we become exposed to like challenges, lessons, and tests. And then after we clear it, you know, we get an upgrade in our psychic senses and so on. So I feel like that's where we are right now, brother. And I think the very important factor of what I kind of wanted to bring in for all of us is to do that quick healing. It's not quick. Well, it's a quick healing and it's powerful because it's quantum, but it's like really, you know, putting into perspective as a collective what we can do, not only to, you know, what I'm going to share with today is it's big so that you could understand how you can take this and heal other people, continue the work of what we came here to do. Because ultimately, once I feel like you mentioned, a certain percentage of us have that full embodiment of the higher self and activated at least your 12 bays, which is your 12 strands. We are like vortexes of energy, and then we're able to then help activate that same frequency, you know, to other people.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how it works. It's a two-way process. And I'm glad that you pointed out Sirius because, you know, Sirius is perhaps, and the Syrians are perhaps the most important race in our universe, or in our galaxy rather, because they are the ones who anchored in the office of the Christ. You know, that's where the Emerald Order and the Melchizedek Cosmic Brotherhood and Sisterhood first stationed when they came into our galaxy. They're known as the keepers of the central sun stargate. So they come from the central sun because there is an advanced civilization that exists within the center of the galaxy, and it goes by many names. And from that advanced civilization, these non-physical etheric beings, in order to precipitate from the seventh dimension into the sixth dimension, where ether began to consolidify into matter or congealed into physical form, that was in Sirius. That's when we, you know, had the first non-physical etheric beings meet with the physical beings to create a new species. And so the Syrian High Council was born as a result of that. So there are actually three different stars that represent the Syrian High Council. There is Sirius A, Sirius B, and C. So Sirius A is, it's perhaps, some believe that Sirius A was overtaken by some of the members of the Orion Empire, but, you know, I believe that there were various species that did exist in Sirius A that were there to pretty much bring a balance, you know. And then we hear about Sirius B. That's where the High Council resides, Sirius B. And I believe that Sirius C is used as a galactic storehouse of records and information. Not to mention, I believe they also use Sirius C as a place to store a lot of the equipment that they use, you know, throughout the for the Galactic Federation and so on and so forth. Like a lot of that equipment comes from Sirius C. So yeah, it's a trinary star system. Most people think it's binary, but get this, my friend. Even the Earth, even the Sun, our solar system, Solaris, is an offspring of Sirius B, by the way. So we could say that in terms of stars giving birth to stars, Sirius B gave birth to both Alcyon, and then Alcyon gave birth to our star. So it's like our grandparent star.
That's amazing. Yes. Wow. And even if you guys don't know what we're talking about, sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, just finalizing it by saying that that's the Covenant of Pelador. That's where it was first stationed in our galaxy. And the first species to implement the Covenant of Pelador, which is the covenant that we're all a part of, whether we know it or not. We all took an oath in our galactic bodies when we were highly, you know, before we came down to the Earth, we all took an oath to bring that covenant to the Earth, and that's the meaning of like establishing heaven on Earth. So it's called the Covenant of Pelador, and the Lyrians were the first ones to put that into use when they united with the Syrian High Council to create the Syrian High Council.
Yes. And then I kind of wanted to add on, you know, when the Pleiadian Syrian High Council came together, and then when you mentioned, you know, we all did take an oath, if you guys don't remember, in the Emerald City, where we vowed that we will continue to protect what it means of the oneness, you know. We are the ancient builders, and that's why we represent different, you know, orders, because we all put in, you know, what that map really looks like.
Exactly.
So I think, like I was going to say earlier, like even if you guys don't know what we're talking about, these are still codes that even as you hear them, they will eventually activate and things will come to you naturally in your own path. Wow. Okay, so that was important because I think that's going to really, that's going to, from today on, I think it's going to really help bring more order and more organization within, all of us working together down here as we're remembering fully who we are. I kind of wanted to talk about how where I feel like we are right now, and it's kind of connected to the healing that I put together for us, which we're going to extend it over to the world and wherever we feel like it's needed in the multiverse. I feel like right now, I know sometimes you mentioned this in a couple of your lives, brother, where you mentioned that in this current vessel, in this avatar, we are embodying basically the 12 versions of us, right, in every dimension. We are the 13th form that can, integrate those 12 versions of us. And so the way that I was seeing this in my own journey and everything, it's kind of like, without realizing, we've been healing all of these past lifetimes because we really are closing this cycle of 36,000 years in like one final year. Like this is the final year of the mission that we took on, which lasted, 144,000 earthly years. The time, it could be different where whatever dimension we look at it, but it's a big deal. So that's why I always say everything that we're going through, it's like a final closing and healing of all of those past versions of us. And I feel like that's what we have been. We have been noticing different energies from different eras being present here, but for us to kind of become aware of it and like heal it. Because I feel like ultimately we're here to heal all of it so we can start over in a sense into the new golden age. But let me know what you think on that, brother.
I totally agree, sister. I think, we are the healers of not only our own personal lives and past lifetimes, but we're also healing our entire ancestry with the work that we do here in the presence. Because at the hub, not only are we the hub of the multiverse, but we're also the hub when it comes to like timelines and, future and past scenarios. We're at the center of it all. Where every timeline or every possible scenario is like a spoke, right? So we're like the center, that circle in the middle. So what we do here actually has repercussions in every scenario, on every timeline, in the past, in the future, on every parallel reality. In a way, we're like the mainframe. So and we're doing it, and we were chosen to do this work. The work that we're doing here on the earth is beyond this planet. It's encompassing the entire multiverse. It is cosmic. And so as more of us begin to remember our mission, we're going to be, with this amazing feeling of responsibility that we have as guardians of not only the new earth, but the multiverse when our dormant DNA becomes activated. And some people ask me, well, why didn't we just come in flying like Superman and Thor, with thunder and all that stuff? And I said, because that would defeat the purpose. If you were designed to be the most powerful being in the universe with ultimate power, wouldn't you first want to humble yourself as a mortal and experience what it's like to be human with limitations, circumstances that happen that we sometimes have no control over, experiencing every level of emotion, happiness, sadness, and everything in between. I mean, the fact that we incarnated as a human is so that we could understand what the human condition is, so that when we do activate our superpowers, we could actually use them for good, because every single one of us had to struggle. I even struggle. I'm not exclusive to challenges and obstacles. I still have them. Even up to date, I still have a lot of challenges. It seems like the more I do, the more they come, and the more psychic attacks I get. But again, like I shield myself. I'm always putting my bubble of protection, and ultimately it boils down to we are into spiritual warfare. And we are, kicking ass from what I understand. Because even if we don't have recollection of what we do in these other realms, a lot of us here are kicking butt in these other realms. A lot of us here are destroying archons, are slaying, beasts and evil entities, and we're doing it. We just don't remember that. We are multidimensional. We do operate different avatars. I don't believe in this immersion pod theory. That's nonsense. We're not resting in no chamber or stasis. I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Like everything. I mean, that's another thing too. Like our brother mentioned, we purposely chose to incarnate in a specific last name in a specific place where, you know, a lot of us came into a place where it was very chaotic, a lot of things going on. You know, a lot of us experienced, unfortunately, like childhood abuse and every type of abuse and stuff like that, even addictions. But again, a lot of us didn't come here with karma. We came here and took that on to fully transmute it at a deep cellular DNA level. That was part of the mission of healing humanity and freeing humanity from these experiences. So that's why I always say, you know, honor your guys' path, honor yourself, love yourself. It's a big deal. It's a big job that we took in. We're healing the full multiverse. That's a lot. Yes. Okay. So I kind of wanted to share where I feel like we currently are right now, and then I'm gonna see where it takes us. And once I kind of share like this big piece, it's gonna make sense when we do this healing. So, as of right now, I'm sure, you know, I don't really watch the news, but I also like to keep eyes on everything just to keep track on all the dimensions. Just to give you guys a heads up, we have been winning a lot of really good wars in the astral fields. Been doing so much good work, and you can tell by when we wake up and we come back into this reality, there's quantum shifts happening. Of course, you know, one of them was when we saw, you know, Queen Elizabeth dying. That was a major shift in our timeline.
Well, you know what that represented, right? That our galactic versions, you know, as guardians of the galaxy and universes, our higher versions were actually eliminated the Draco Queen. The Draco Queen was connected to an AI system, and I forget the name of it, but she was like the original Omnicron, like, you know, the seed car. She's what gave birth to the original seed car royal bloodline of the Draconians. And so when we eliminated her from Orion, her physical counterpart here on this planet was also eliminated. So it's all happening at the same time on every dimension. Yeah. She was an outlet to that, you know, Draco AI hybrid, whatever that was operating, that was actually taking orders from the AI god, because the AI god has no access to our galaxy, you know, and the High Council of Orventon, which is overseen by the Ancient Order of Eternal of Days, or the Petals, you know, the Eternal ones, whatever you want to call them, the Cedars. They made sure of that you know, that this planet became protected until the Ascension took place, so that we can become activated.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely has a lot of major protection, especially from the poles, because the poles will be shifting, but we won't experience that physicality. That was deep. Yeah, all of that. And so, okay, so that's what I was going to say. So when that happened, I feel like that did a lot of movement for the masculine, because I realized that there's been a lot of attacks within the masculine and the feminine, like divine essence part of it, which is mainly what I was going to move into. So when that happened, because I remember, I have memory of it, so I remember that happening, but I also realized that was also helping us basically reclaim the King's Chamber, because the King's Chamber had a direct connection to that specific star that the Dracos had, you know, infatuated. And I kind of want to clarify something, because I feel like there's some confusion right now going on, because we have to remember that we are in a spiritual war, but also in a war of timelines. And in this earth, we're seeing a lot of timelines still running simultaneously, right? So what I wanted to clarify is that, for example, I'm seeing a lot of stuff going on with the moon. Yes, there's a dimension where the moon was taken over and was put artificial intelligence, so it was kind of created as a host body. But then a lot of us, since we're merging with our higher essence, it's kind of like we're connecting only to the ascended aspects of those planets and solar systems. So that's kind of like us removing ourselves from this matrix, or phantom fallen matrix, in a sense. And so that's kind of like also the purpose of this healing that I came put together for all of us, because from my own, like, once I received like my full higher self essence, it's kind of like I got to work even more. Like, it was like, okay, everything is so fast for me, and I realized that the reason why a lot of us had a hard time connecting with our higher self, or even with our guides, is because we have what is called crucifixions. I posted about that a couple of times. So there's crucifixions that were placed on our physical bodies and energetic bodies, that literally prevent us from connecting fully to what we're supposed to connect. And I think that was one of the things that a lot of us didn't know until we came here. Because I always said we all made like contracts of like, we're going to come together and we're going to help each other remember little things, you know? And what I discovered is that crucifixions that was preventing, it was kind of like a dam. And now I'm going to talk about how that is connected to the blood, because that's what it meant to have Rh positive blood. It was like the infiltration that they put on us spiritually and even DNA wise and stuff like that. So that is kind of like the attack that I'm seeing that was put upon the feminine, because that's what I'm seeing right now. Like, it was like the organic template of the feminine. The Divine Mother essence was really kind of like the target of this war that happened for so many years. And when I was showing all these things, just so that I can catch everyone up and help you guys understand basically the root of how it happened, is, you know, bringing it back all the way, passing Lemuria, passing Atlan, going into the Mu days, because it was the Mu that were one of the first seeding civilizations placed upon here. And then basically what I was being shown is that when a couple of our brothers and sisters that were working together to betray us stole artifacts, they came up with a plan to steal basically some material from the Ark of the Covenant. And what I was being shown is they were going from that era it started. So then this is where like the fallen, you know, the ones that fail in temptation, the high priests and priestesses use this divine information, but they didn't have the right intention. So it's kind of like they attracted this dark energy, which is like in the form of a shadow. So when they were opening these portals, because they didn't want to do the work, basically, because it takes a lot of work for you to become a priest and priestess, to be trusted with all of that information and so on. They didn't want to do the work. It was more like the ego energy that opened the portals, and without knowing, they then became kind of basically possessed with this energy. And then it was these individuals and those avatars that created a separation of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Because in a sense, I feel like that's the final piece of really helping everybody heal so that we can fully integrate our higher self. I put a lot, that was important. That was the backstory, because now bringing it back into our current reality, this is what we're seeing right now in Iran, for example. And just to keep it simple, because this is a place where I feel like we need some healing. In Iran, and I think it's really interesting how everything played out, because I'm seeing now the places on this current reality or realm we're in, and those places that were the most holy places are the places that need healing the most, like Iran, like Iraq, even the pyramids of Giza, and of course the UK. You know, we know that things there are not the way it should be. So I feel like ultimately we're here to basically, you know, resurrect all of us in a sense who we are as a divine being. But I feel like I gave a lot there. I kind of want to see what came up for you, and then.
Yeah, very well said, Mary. Very well said. You stated it very, very accurately. For millenniums, you know, actually, if you want to even go back to going beyond our dimension or off-world, the whole attack was against the divine feminine from the beginning. In fact, the archon energy that split off from prime creator source into the voidness of space has always been after the divine sacred feminine, you know, and that's why our world, when it fell into the power of the fallen ones, right, through the Draco and the renegade Anunnaki that decided to take sides with the Draco, what the first thing they did is they eliminated the veneration of the Divine Mother, you know, and ever since then it's been like a patriarch, but it's a corrupt patriarch, which is very reptilian in nature. So we see these, you know, like you said, we see these two parts playing out. We see a very corrupt masculine, which is a masculine that is like so freaking wounded, and then we see a feminine, you know, that is like just trying to emerge again, that is just trying to, or perhaps even stay alive. And so what we're seeing here in Iran is the rise of the divine feminine in these women, you know, and they're fighting for their rights and freedom. But it's something that it's also happening on a planetary level. It's not just in Iran. It seems like the entire planetary consciousness of Mother Earth is recalibrating the balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine, but at the same time with the healed divine masculine, because what's the point of balancing it if the masculine energies are still wounded, and that's where the archon energy comes from. The archon energy was the origination of the unwounded masculine, by the way. And then that's what possessed the minds of the fallen angels, of the Elohim, which later translated as the Draco, and of course, those other species that followed them, and that's why they have always been the villains, because they have been the ones that have been suppressing the feminine aspects, the spirituality of the divine feminine for millions and billions of years in our universe. And right now, we're like, their time is up, and they know that, and that's why a lot of stuff is happening right now worldwide when it comes to the rise of the divine feminine. For the first time, women are actually rising. This is something that hasn't happened in millenniums on this planet. Millenniums. Thousands and thousands of years. So, and we're healing that. All of us. Every single starseed that is here is firing up the grid. Through our own vibrations, we are sending compassion and love and loving energy to the entire planet. And that explains why we're all geographically spread out throughout the entire planet, because we're supposed to bring our energy to certain grid points on the Earth, because the Earth also has ley lines and chakras, right? Hundreds of minor chakras, 7 major chakras, just like we do. So every single star seed, imagine if we were all in the United States, or if we were all in Europe, that would defeat the purpose. The grid is worldwide, it's a global net. So that's why we all had to be kind of spread out geographically everywhere on the planet, because we're all infusing, the new grid system through our own vibrations. And that's what a fifth dimension, and that's the reason why a fifth dimensional reality is already, manifesting itself for many of us, because of the work that we've been doing, our own energy. And that's how powerful we are. So, when we do group meditations, that has a huge effect, because what we're doing is we're focusing our collective power and, into a certain outcome, and that in turn is like causing miracles worldwide,
Yes, very beautifully said. And I kind of want to mention something because I was just reminded, because I think it's important. Because I feel like the reason why I feel like the Anunnaki timeline keeps coming up, because it is a very important timeline to heal for all of humanity. And the reason why we're after I, did my thing, I realized what it has to do with it. And so, the archons were able to get all the way up to the 11th dimension.
And they did it through artificial intelligence.
Right.
Yes, because that was the consciousness that embodies a machine. Once the machine is fully intact with a artificial brain and a body, there is a pre-existing consciousness that animates it. And so that's what gives the AI consciousness or sentiency is the archon energy.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the problem that I was seeing with a lot of our brothers and sisters. I feel like, because again, it's like a personal journey. As you make your way up, a lot of people were stuck in the 12th chakra, in the 12th gateway. And that gateway is the connection to the Anunnaki timeline. Because there was an actual blockage on that chakra on the world that was preventing everybody to kind of go up. Like, it took a lot of work for you able to go through that stargate, basically, in your own body. And I feel like that's why I was saying earlier, as you guys elevate and you turn on more of your DNA, there will be a lot of psychic attacks, especially when you're in that place that I just mentioned and you're trying to make it to the 12, like you're trying to merge with your full higher self. A lot of attacks happen there. It happened to me in my own personal ascension. It was really crazy for another time though. And I realized it was happening because once you guys merge with your higher essence, they cannot do anything anymore. Because you remember your power, you remember how to protect yourself, how to protect others, and you remember how their world works. And that's kind of like the thing. So that's kind of like what I feel like part of this healing that we're doing today is also healing that for everyone. At this point, it's kind of like I feel like we don't really have to fully remember what happened, because again, we're already setting the intention to heal that within the timelines, but also within our body, so that we can move forward in this ascension process. I feel like that was a major block, and so that's another thing that was important, because what I'm gonna do today for all of us is gonna help us fully connect the way that we are supposed to, fully embody our crystal light body, that basically shields us from all of that.
Mhm.
One last thing, because what I mentioned is very critical. Because if you're not fully connected to your higher self, because these archons did manage to get all the way up there, sometimes the entities that you are channeling or so on may be them, because they have a lot of high technology and so on. But that's the main purpose of today, helping everyone connect better with their team. And I want to just leave it to you, brother, if you want to add anything, and then I'll just explain what I want to do for all of us after.
Okay. Well, I agree. I think that once we do connect with our 12-dimensional self, that's it. That's game over for the dark sides. That's when we embody our full God self. Because God, many believe that God sits on the throne on the 12th dimension, and in essence, because we do live in the holographic universe where the fractal represents the whole, we are that. We are the embodiment or the soul individualized unit of consciousness that is down here in the lower dimensions, realigning with the monad, right? Which is God. The monad is God, is everything that is. And so I agree. Once we connect with our monad, that is it. We become indivisible. We become impenetrable. Nothing can come through our shield at that point. So yeah, let's do this. Let's bring
Yes,
in
I love it.
power to the
Let's do
star
it.
seeds.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Okay, I'm just gonna briefly kind of talk to you guys on what we're doing. So as I do it, and this is what I do in all my games, so that you know what we're doing and like what's going on. So I mentioned the crucifixions. I'm gonna call in the Crystala and Crystal family from Cyrus B to remove any remaining, if you guys still have any. We're gonna remove the crucifixions and as well remove the 7 veils from your third eye, because that's another thing I forgot to mention. Once the 7 veils are removed from your third eye, you're able to perceive more, you're able to integrate more, and really see through all these veils of illusion. After those 2 things, then I'm going to guide you guys in creating this 12D shield. And I will guide you in the process, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys envision the Star of David on your feet. And that energy is going to go up and calling in the energy of the 12D, which is like raw solar energy to shield us. The reason why I'm going to do like a self-healing first is so that we can heal, remove everything, and we're connected to our higher essence. And then we're going to do a travel and send this healing energy where we think it's needed. Okay. Well, that was cool. So, okay, guys, so I think I'm gonna get started, but before we get started, I'm gonna take a few deep breaths. So right now, everybody, just get comfortable. If you guys can, take a sip of water, because we're also gonna be working with the highest evolved version of the Violet Flame and the Venus Flame, because we're gonna use both of them to purify and to integrate as well. So I'll leave it there, and then as I go, you guys will just hear what we're doing. Just for a second. In the meantime, everybody, you can get comfortable. You can either sit down or lay down. Take a sip of water before, though. That's important. And then I'll get us started 1 second. Okay. So now I'm just going to guide us with some deep breathings, and we'll call in our family of light with all of this. In any case, if you hear any chaos, like if a helicopter comes, focus. I just want you to focus on that peace, okay? Because that's also practice to help you focus when there's chaos. So just remain centered if that happens. Okay. Okay, now I should get started. And just clear energy. Okay. So now go ahead and begin to just close your guys' eyes. We're going to take some deep breaths and then call in our family of light. So now go ahead and take a deep breath in and breathe into your feet. As you exhale, I want you to imagine 2 circles beneath your feet. And as you exhale, release that energy through your feet. Then go ahead and take a deep breath and breathe into your legs. As you exhale out, feel your legs more relaxed. And now take a deep breath and breathe into your chest. As you exhale out, feel your chest burst open. And then take a deep breath into your face. As you exhale out, feel your body completely relax. Your whole body relaxing, relaxing. And now I call in our family, the Crystal family from the Andromeda Galaxy, our Crystal family, Cyrus B, and any technicians to come to us now, come to us and assist us to removing any crucifixions within our vessels. And as they finish up, now I call in the family of light, or white brotherhood and white sisterhood of light. And in a second, you will all feel two seraphim angels, one on your left side and one on your right side. As they hold you, we will now remove the 7 bells of illusion and this energy releasing from your third eye. The 7th bell dissolves in red so that you can see things from a higher perspective. The 6th bell dissolves in yellow so that you believe in and trust the unicorns and spiritual realms. The 5th bell dissolves in pink so that you can open your heart. The 4th bell dissolves in blue-green so that you can truly understand the natural world. The 3rd bell dissolves in deep blue so that you can live in oneness. The 2nd bell dissolves in violet so that you can achieve enlightenment. The 1st bell dissolves in crystal clear so that you can experience mastery. And in a second, I will now bring in this blue sapphire into your soul star. In 3, 2, 1. Feel this blue energy integrating in your soul star above your head, mixing together. Because it has codes for each one of you that is needed and connecting you more with your higher self. Now, putting in our 12D shield. So beneath your feet, imagine this Star of David glowing in silver and diamond. And see the silver and diamond energy swirling all around you, making its way all the way to the top, shielding all of your energetic bodies, going all the way to the top. And now calling in the energy of the solar and Ra for the 12th, bringing it down and wrapping this golden solar energy all around us and wrapping all of our energetic bodies. Now, as this is done, we thank our families for these healings and integrations as they will remain with us, but take a step back. We will now call in and invoke Archangels Sadriel and Amethyst in the lilac fire of Source. So now see and feel these energies of the violet flame pouring down towards you. See this purple flame coming from the sky. But this purple flame is a cosmic diamond violet flame. As it wraps around you, then from the heights of the ninth dimension, see this pink ray of pure love living the cosmic heart portal. Now watch these two energies dancing and merging together above you to form a beautiful sparkling violet pink. As this light swirls above your stellar gateway, see, vibrate, high frequency dragons and angels now forming. They dance with the flow of the flames. These are the angels and dragons of the lilac fire, swirling around us. And as this energy is now with us, call this energy down into your body. Allow it to integrate at the deepest cellular level, dissolving any density or issues you may have. Feel this energy spreading through every facet of your being, lighting you up with the magic of grace, purity, and love. Feel this energy going through your physical body. Feel it going through your nervous system, through your organs, through your skeleton system, through your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual body, etheric body, astral body, and your celestial body. All of your 7 bodies infusing with this energy. And breathe this energy out so that it starts to eliminate everyone and everything around you. See this bright violet pink light transmuting all that is not love and replacing it with a much higher vibration. Now ask the dragons and the angels of the lilac fire to go to the places that are needed of assistance. Now, in this moment, I want you guys to visualize armies of these beautiful beings floating the planet with this amazing light. And in the second, all of us will spread this energy to where it's needed on Earth. And I will now allow you, brother, to guide us through where you believe we should spread this energy together on Earth and the multiverse.
Yes. Let's begin to spread the energy over to the Russia-Ukraine scenario. Let's also take this energy and heal the situation in Iran. Now let's move this energy over to Korea, North Korea. And let's also move this energy over to Taiwan and China. Let's move this energy over to Florida for the devastation that occurred last week. Let's move this energy over to Puerto Rico, Australia, Canada, the East Coast and the Midwest in the United States where many people had suffered floodings. And now we're going to take this energy and we're just going to spread it out worldwide and consume the entire planet Earth in this violet transmuting flame of purifying energy. alchemizing all negativity and density at this time by the collective power of our mighty I Am presence, in the name of our monad, of our holy collective monad. We now transmute the negativity on planet Earth at this time. Now let's begin to visualize the Earth in a crystalline sphere or bubble of protection. And visualize the Earth radiating across the entire universe. And so be it. Now we can begin to bring our attention over to our bodies. If there's anything else you want to share, sister?
I think we did that for today.
Okay.
And when we're ready, you can come back in. Feel your toes wiggle a little bit.
I think we have like maybe a few minutes to answer some questions.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That was very powerful. Thank you, brother. Thank you,
Well,
everybody
thank you.
that was here.
Chẳng được quên khi cơn mưa đêm lại về. Em đã quên lời thề và ta như đông chìm sâu. Không cần mơ em anh nhận màu. Em chỉ cần mơ bye bye. Chỉ còn là những cơn mưa vô giá cho bên mơ em không mơ anh. Anh vẫn đang mơ, chỉ cần bên em không được cần nhớ và chỉ có em không còn nhớ. Và người ta bên nhau như là tớ. Muốn nhớ về say em chỉ có mấy em ở đây và anh như muốn chết đi nhưng không muốn em mãi mãi. Tình yêu làm cho ta đau đầu, không em như mà mơ mộng. Anh như đang mong cầu và mưa bên em âu sầu. Chào các bạn mai em mơ, chỉ có bên em nhưng là khó mơ. Mà đang dài em muốn bên ai anh không mong gì hơn, chỉ mong em sẽ ở đây ôm anh thật gần. Anh chỉ mong đôi ta được có nhau và đừng em đâu anh có em. Mỗi đêm bên anh có em, ta sẽ trao nhau môi hôn thật sâu. Ôm anh cứ mưa bằng ngâu và em chỉ nằm đâu. Anh không muốn em ở đâu đâu. Một cơn gió thứ anh không mơ cầu. Mà không đôi anh mà bên giờ anh chỉ là my friend. Em quên đi bao lời hứa, quên đi cả những ngày xưa. Anh như là muốn nhớ. Em cứ một chưa. Mà đừng vào đêm vào đêm. Anh nhìn một đôi đi bằng kem. Không như là ba trên thêm. Cho em nhiều hơn như là kem. Chỉ cần là mưa thôi. Em chỉ cần là mưa thôi, còn ai sẽ là nắng rồi. Em chỉ cần là mưa thôi, cho anh ngồi êm trôi. Cho anh được ôm em kia trời nắng và ôm em kia trời mưa. Và có anh có mặt trời, em như là cuộc đời. Có được nhau là gặp thời, không cần mưa để mần lời. Anh muốn em mau về đây để cơn mưa ngừng trôi. Anh muốn em là cuộc đời trong mơ mơ. Bao con bao nhiêu sự trên đời, anh chỉ mong muốn có em bên người. Không muốn được mơ mơ, chỉ cần mơ say. Em nên làm con tim bút sầu, đừng làm con tim để đau đầu. Yêu em chẳng em mà mong cầu, chỉ muốn có em ở trong đầu. Anh không
be paid with blood or some sort of pain. You caused a permanent stain which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear, I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here, the sound of deafening fear.
You won't die if you try, you just might get a little bit of trouble, K-N-I-F-E, right in your side, you will never see me coming. You won't die if you try, you just might get a little bit of trouble, K-N-I-F-E, right in your side, you will never see me
My energy is next level, so damn you better be careful. I got an angel and devil, he snaps me straight in the temple. I'm ready to be a rebel, I've got a lot of potential hidden inside of this vessel. That shit is so exponential. I need a first class ticket to the top, no limit. I don't play no gimmicks, I'ma take you to the clinic. If you want a taste, come at me and you will be replaced. They won't find a trace of you anywhere or any place.
You won't die if you try, you just might get a little bit of trouble, K-N-I-F-E, right in your side, you will never see me coming. You won't die if you try, you just might get a little bit of trouble, K-N-I-F-E, right in your side, you will never see me coming.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just keep buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight, gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate. Better change my mindset, meditate. It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, hear, I should celebrate. Think I could change my mind, maybe elevate. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. I'm kinda stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I work hard or live at my pace? You're only young once, yeah that's all great, but I also want a future where I'm okay. Living life is doing lots of cocaine. Wait no, it's living with no shame. Wait no, it's sleeping in on Sundays. I guess it's different for each of us and that's okay. Well I just wanna be happy, how to get there? Glad that you asked me. I think it's different for everyone. Some of us need work, others need fun. Some of us need purpose to overcome. But try to do what you love when it's said and done. Cause there's so many differences in each of us. Trust your gut, it can show you what you want. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days.